Hey there, this is Holly Knight with Lessons with Holly, and we're working in this video with Rayley, and she is a 7th grader. So let's take a look here. I think we'll slow it down first and watch her swing a little bit. So I've been working with Rayley for a little while, a few months, and very talented, athletic girl. Um, she's got some typical things of her age that we're trying to work on, and she's getting there. So we're going to start with, again, like normal, is start with the stance. I'm not a big fan of high hands in a stance, and I'll tell you why necessarily is, so the hands here, eventually we've got to get to a power position, a loaded position, and those hands in that loaded position are going to be more in this uh, more in this area there. And so what we end up doing when we start high hands is we have to drop them into that position, so our momentum goes downward instead of backward, which is where we want to go with the load. There are some hitters that get through with it and stuff, but if you notice, hitters that have high hands, they do kind of very early drop it down so they can get into that really good power position. But also, can't tell from here, but looks like, and I think we did talk about it a little bit yesterday in the lesson, she's a little bit upright, a little bit there, so she's not in a real good athletic position. That can be a little bit of an issue eventually, but again, as I always talk, as I said in previous videos, your stance doesn't mean as much. What matters is how well you get into that loaded position. So with that said, let's get her into what she looks like in her launch position. So that is when the hands are back, the foot is down. Okay, that's right when the foot gets down. That's right before it gets down. Looks like it's down there. So what we want to be in that, because that is our power position. So what you're doing here is think in terms of power being 100% of your power. You want to leave back as much power as you can to put all of that into the bat velocity and then the contact point. So any leaking of that power early, which means if my weight goes forward, my stride goes too much forward, my head goes too much forward, whatever, then I'm losing some parts of that power. So you can see some things there. There's essentially weight is quite forward. The body is already opening up here. Hips are kind of opening up that way a little bit. And so there's a lot of lost power there. And it's also pretty rotational. And that's one of the things is her swing is this way. You want to be more in a straighter line that way. Okay. Again, very common for her age. We'll work it out and stuff, get it a little bit better. So this is pretty close. We can go back one step or two. All right. Everything here is really good. Body is closed, weight is back, but her foot is not down yet. And what is happening is a lot of young hitters use that stride trying to think it feels like it's creating power, but it actually decreases power because she's waiting to stride and hit instead of stride before she hits. You want that foot down now. As you can see, that weight would be back. That foot is down, then it can transfer everything forward much, much better. Now in this also, I'm going to say is you can see her arm is pretty straight. It should be a little bit less straight, a little bit more bent. Should be more like here. That way, it's pretty close, but it's she's kind of what we call barring out, where that arm is really, really straight. So let's see as she swings. There's her stride, and see how straight that arm is right there. It's pretty straight. When I come forward, the phrase staying inside the ball requires that front elbow to be bent early in the swing. If that stays barred out, if that stays straight, let's see if it does. Yeah, see, even right there. See, right there, so we were talking about yesterday, and you can see her elbows are like this. She's pulling the bat instead of driving the bat forward. And everything is rotational out that way here instead of forward. That's why she hits some side spin balls, and that's why she does a lot with doesn't have show the power that she's capable of have because she's strong and athletic. She should be hitting the ball a little bit harder. So you can see the bat is dropping down here. Not too bad considering this is where the arm is at this point. So we got to get that staying inside the ball much, much better. That front side a little bit better. All right, so let's see here. And all right, contact. Yeah, you can see way out in front at that point. Weight has been used, and it's just all arms here. And you can see her head is kind of flying out a little bit there, so she's missing contact. It also looks like the contact point is at the end of the bat, which is going to happen with a long swing that she has where she bars out and flies open a little bit. She's going to make contact often in games, especially here, and not right where she wants to most of the time there. So she's going to miss contact often with that, or a hitter would, not just her. Okay. And that's where she's rolling over. You can see that roll over right there. In fact, her hands come back and her weight comes back there. So that's where she hits at a lot of balls with top spin rolling over there, because that top hand, if you can see, there's no forward movement. Once she gets here, right there, there's no forward movement. It's just that top hand goes forward. And then it hits that ball. You can see where it's hitting that ball there, causing it to go down, and the bat coming up. It should be the opposite. What I want to do is make contact in that path there, where I'm hitting the middle of the ball, and my bat will actually either come slightly afterwards this way, and then the ball will go this way. So my bat path stays here, and my ball path goes there, where when you get that top hand like that, it actually causes it. See, the bat path goes up and the ball goes down. So it causes the opposite there. Okay, so let's go. Okay, we talked about the load again. That's her stance. That's where her hands are. All right, we're going to see her hands kind of go back, and then they do go down. Okay, so it looks like, so they go down and back a little bit, which is good. But as you can see, that's a really good athletic position. That's really, really good. If we can just get you stand there and getting that foot down with that weight back at that point, will be a much, much better position. And then you can start driving forward. We need to get that elbow bent a little bit more there. And then so you can stay leading with that front arm. So that'll help us know what we need to do here and see how much weight you're going forward before you swing. We want that weight to go forward The weight should be going forward after the stride, not before the stride. So a stride, and then you, yeah, so you're also you're even farther out in front there, which that amount of movement, you've got a lot of movement there, is going to make your contact point be difficult. And you lose balance a little bit there too. Okay. Get a little deeper. Better there. Still not looking at the ball real good. And in fact, this looks like you get some backspin because you did get a little bit deeper. And that's what we're talking about in this down here. All right, so in that same path here, so you want to go to the ball. Where it's going to be about right there, making contact. Then the ball should go upward, and the bat should kind of keep going a little bit this way, maybe up this way. It'll be okay a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, see the ball's going upward, and the bat goes right here. That's what we stay getting the backspin. We get through the ball, through the flight of the ball this way. So the ball path was coming here. So much better because you did get the ball a little bit deeper. So that's better than you were earlier. That'll help. But you can see your hips are almost, not quite that much, but is pretty open, where the hips should not be that much open. Belly button should be pretty much pointing at contact to where the ball is, wherever you're making contact here. So a few things to work on. Again, despite some of these things and the difficulties you put yourself into, you do good. We did start working on trying to stay through right center field, and let me explain that. So working your drills through right center field, what that does is, we didn't do it in this video. All right, so to hit the ball to right center field, this is a pretty good idea part here. Your hands have to be in front of the barrel, and that pitch is a little bit inside, but let's say the pitch is going to be here at this point, maybe. So you're going to have to lead with your hands better, and for that ball to go to right center field, coming up that way. So working on hitting the ball to right center field helps you lead with hands, help you get a little bit deeper, and will maybe hopefully help us get out of that barring out, but we'll have to do some drills for that as well, probably. Looks like you make contact out front, a little bit too far out there as well. But you have to, because if you don't, with a hitter that is long like that, if you wait too long, and you've learned that already because you're athletic enough to, when you make those adjustments, if you wait too long, if you let that get deeper, right there, it would hit you on the handle. So you have to get out there, because you're so long, you got to get out early to make that contact, but that's what causes you the problems as well. That's when you get it rolling over. See, that's going down where it is as well. Typically, the other thing too, you can see hitters that roll over early, you can see the finish the bat is like right there. If you roll over early, the bat gets a little flat here. Usually what you want is what they call finishing high. The bat kind of finishes up here. So it actually starts, it comes down, gets level, then it finishes high. So let's see here. Let's see if that swing before. You got the backspin, I think. Is this one? Well, let's see. Yeah, you got it out there, but you did finish a little bit higher, it looks like. Yeah, maybe not. Finish in there a little bit, maybe a little bit higher. So, um, got some things to work on. Again, you do a great job. Typical stuff of girls your age. So we'll keep working and kind of pick away at some of these things to get so you're starting to drive the ball a little bit better. Again, this is Holly Knight with Lessons with Holly and the National Fast Pitch Academy. Have a great day.